Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for the Canadian Chamber of Commerce's Technology and Impact webinar. We have a little bit less time than I would like, so I'm not going to get to ask all of the questions I want to, but I do have a few that I think are good to start us off. And particularly with Emma and Aru, it seems to me that tech for good, or some of your projects that you mentioned, require multiple and often significant cross-sector partners to come to the table for these initiatives to be successful, sometimes to even just take place. So if this is the case, is that a good thing or a bad thing? And regardless, do you think that this is going to change as these kind of tech for good projects, initiatives, businesses, and so on continue to become more mainstream?
Aru, would you like to go first? So I don't mind.
So, yeah, right. So, definitely we need partners. But, you think of the COVID situation. Of course, we all hate COVID and what it caused, but it was also a blessing in disguise. And because of COVID now, people started to use technology. In the past, it was very difficult to create that behavior change within people to use technology, especially people, the real needed people, the underprivileged people. How would you encourage them to use technology? That was a big challenge. And at that time, definitely we need partners. We need partners on the ground, the NGOs, to take some ownership and help us. But I think with this COVID situation now, everybody they know at least how to use Zoom basically. And with also, with smartphones around for last 4 to 5 years, and a lot of smartphone penetration, people know how to use an app. So I think it's the right time where technology can make a big impact, and especially if you want to use technology like for example VMO, to really reach the unconnected. I think technology is the only way, and it can make it more efficient, cost efficient. And partners are still needed, basically, to reach to the target group. So I think that's what I would just respond to your question, Ren. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I definitely agree with you, Aru. I think that especially in the COVID situation, this access to tech is really important. And I do agree. I think having people in different sectors and organizations collaborating and coming together is really vital. As VMO, we're the tech experts. We know how to optimize for mobile, but we're not the content experts, for example. So, we want to collaborate with the people that understand the beneficiaries, that work with them on the ground or work with them in their day-to-day activities, and this is really important. So without collaboration, we're not able to optimize our specialities and come together. I think it's a really important aspect for Tech for Good moving forward. I also think, I think, Ryan, one of the questions was, how do you see this changing as, this develops within Vietnam? I think that if we collaborate now, all that will happen is that it will improve, the process will improve. So we will know, okay, great, we've got this collaboration with these 5 businesses. Okay, we've got a great network. How do we improve this now? We've piloted 3 or 4 different activities. Here are the kind of key learnings, and now we're able to, bring those together as a group, expand to new people, and be able to use those really key learnings with all these different stakeholders to be able to increase impact within Vietnam. And I think it's a really important aspect, and something at VMO that we're really passionate about, collaborating and partnerships. So that's everything from my side.
Ronald, would you like to add anything?
Yeah, definitely. The core value that I concentrate on the everydays right now is about the partnership, about the ecosystems, the sustainability in the partners that we're working together, because that's my main daily job nowadays, because we operate a kind of permissionless blockchain network. So the partnership is the soul. It's the soul of the business. It's the soul of everything, right? So it's Without this strategic piece, we're no one. Right? So we need to be the heart of the entire ecosystem. Who are we working with? Who can we help? And what kind of value can we provide? Right? So whatever solution that I'm trying to share just now is about the value that we can generate. But end of the day, the entrepreneurs, because we build a system for different innovators, for different entrepreneurs, for different partners who run different industry, for different big corporations who solve their own different types of problems, to build some different solution on our blockchain, on our beholders blockchain. So, end of the day, no matter business that we do, and I'm sure Aru, Emma, Jan, or whoever else here, I think we share the same core value, which is, the partnership, which is the people that we are dealing with every day, right? So we don't have much time. So we only can deal maybe 8 to 10 people every day for sure. So, these people need to be strategic, need to be, we need to be able to maximize their talent, maximize the performance of the entire workforce. So that's how that's how we make a better world for everyone to live in. Yeah. So, I totally agree with Emma and Aru on that point. Yeah.
I think that's a really interesting point, Ronald, and I'd like to build off it a little bit. It sounds like it might be safe to say that collaboration and partnership really is, as you said it, Ronald, the soul of moving forward for these things. And so they're really the foundation from which any of these initiatives can scale. But what can we do now, whether yourselves with your own organizations or outsiders, to help accelerate that scaling process? Because, for example, we're talking about impact and ESG and tech for good. And a lot of partners that could add a lot of value to that process may not understand them or may not know what the value is for them in the short, medium, and long term. So how can we scale that sort of thing now, or at least accelerate that?
Right. To accelerate that, so I think we just need to go back to the fundamental, which is what specific core problem am I able to help them to solve? So we need to solve that pain point. Right. So regardless, either social impact or whatever industry they are in, we need to be able to solve their core problem. For example, their core problem is transparency in the system. They want to help fundraise from, let's say that they run an MNC company. They want to attract different funds from all the employees from all over the world to go and help Vietnam. As the CEO and the president of the organization, you want to do that. But there's no, organizations that can help out because of the cost. So end of the day, we try to solve first is the core pain point and the business model. Whether are we able to minimize the cost for that particular organization and maximize the performance and solve their core problem. So if we can do that well, everything else will come after, right? Because for me, as business entrepreneurs and partners and leaders in the industry with the other folks, I'm thinking about what can we do to help them? What problem are we solving? Whether it's sustainable competitive advantage for them, whether it's sustainable. And if we can do all this, the last point we come, which is your scalability, which is whatever you mentioned. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's more about the outcome, or actually what Ronald was mentioning is, does it really address the problem or the challenge? So basically, does it really create an impact in our project? Basically, does the training really lead to a job opportunity? I mean, it can't just do the trainings and it leads to nothing, but does it really address the problem of the people we are targeting? If it can lead to job opportunity, and if we can communicate those impact to a wider audience, and this project is actually a pilot of this 2 years. And then if we can reach these numbers of training 5,000 and providing recruitment 2,000, and then I think then we can scale this to several provinces. So we are targeting only a few provinces now, but if it is successful, we can scale it up. And then we just need to make this initiative a broader one, not just limited to Digitex, but can we make it an industry-wide program by collaborating with other IT companies, and overall the IT associations also supporting such an initiative, and if the government also recognizes that if they can acknowledge and support, I think then this can be scaled up. So it's really about the impact, and if it's a true impact that can be created, and then we can talk about it proudly, and I think that leads to scalability. Yeah.
Thanks, Aru. Emma, would you like to add anything?
Yeah, I would just kind of back up what Aru and Ronald are saying. I really agree with it. I think that, you know, at VIAMO, we have this really human-centered approach. We do a lot of testing. We like to, as Aru mentioned, you know, is this working? So, you know, the example that I used with the remote training, we had these pre and post tests to understand, was their knowledge change? We can then have follow-up surveys later on. Did they actually change their behavior? On the part about scaling, what's really exciting at VIAMO is because we have a VIAMO platform that we've created, you know, it doesn't matter if you're sending that survey out to 5 people or 5 million people. It's just adding those contacts in, or you know, deciding who the people are we're reaching and sending it out. So it's really you know, easy to scale once we have a pilot and we're, you know, confident that it is going to make an impact, and within that impact, really having a focus on human-centered design, and then with that, hopefully ensuring that we then have that behavior change and knowledge management, knowledge change as well. So I know we're short on time, so I'll stop there.
Okay, great. Thanks, Emma. Thanks to all of you. I think those are really insightful answers. And because we do have a limited time left, I would like to change tracks and ask a different kind of question that actually echoes something that that Keith said earlier. And that is, I'm curious, what is a technology, a new technology that you would hope to see in the near future, and how might that have a positive impact? Or alternatively, what is a challenge that you see communities facing that you think innovation and new technology could address? I mean, we have people here. You guys have your platforms and your organizations already, but maybe we can inspire some new ones. So any thoughts? Who'd like to go first?
I can start. You can see the world changing rapidly, right? And I read recently, I mean, for past several years, right? Not so recently, I've been researching and reading a lot of history books related to the human history for the past thousands of years, right? So basically, the Earth is only one Earth, right? Why there are many countries? So who define the name of the countries, right? We are all Homo sapiens, right? In the DNA. So the Earth supposed to be borderless. The Earth supposed to be flat, in the sense that only one Earth, no country, because the name of the country, the border of the country is basically defined by the politician. This is what Richard Branson's, and I think a lot of, you know, respected folks that I've been learning from, right? Basically, so how are we going to create a virtual world where everyone is more equal? Everyone have a chance to learn, regardless whether you are from Da Nang, you are from Manila, you are from Ho Chi Minh City. I'm sure, I mean, everyone's supposed to learn the same program from the University of Harvard, for example. Why not? Can we do that? So the world need to change. A virtual world to change. Everyone should have a chance to make dreams, right? With the internet, with a laptop. So how to do that? A virtual world where everyone can see each other, right? When it calls metaverse world. When it comes to metaverse world, the words become a new world for everyone to come in, right? And everyone can have a chance to, you know, to buy things or to shop, so to do certain kind of different types of shoppings with that virtual world. It's a totally new world. I know there's always good thing and bad thing. A bad thing is because everything is too virtual, then there's no physical interaction. But with the advanced technology, with small kinds of augmented technology, virtual reality, and the interoperable kind of system, the worlds become nearer. The world become, you know, together. It's more interconnected in that sense. And we'll be able to make dream for a lot of people from Congo, from Vietnam, from, you know, Venezuela, from Zimbabwe, or from wherever else. That's amazing, because, you know, genius people, they don't need to speak English. They can just speak, you know, their whatever language, but they are genius people for sure. So if we can, you know, get that word more evolving, And I think technology with metaverse, with blockchain, with NFT, with the AI, augmented reality, virtual reality, this world's become better in that way.
Yeah, I
That
think
was a
for
really
me,
nice, comprehensive answer. Thank you for that, Ronald.
yeah, I think for me, like for us as an NGO, we know the internet and the technology and smartphone, but I'm curious to learn new technologies like basically what Ronald was talking about, blockchain technology. How do we use it? It's a very new technology, so it could change the way the development world works. So I'm looking forward to it, how blockchain technology can really help in developmental work to create impact. Yeah, that's and we are very curious to learn about new technologies, but it's about the awareness of technology. How do we use it? That's a challenge. Second, I think on a very important challenge is basically, yes, technology, especially using IT technology, can be more efficient, but is it very effective? Does it really create the output? Yeah, it can be very efficient. In a way, it can be cost cutting. Your cost could go down by just doing an e-learning or through doing it via mobile. But is it really effective and creates the desired impact is a challenge. And it depends on how we use the technology, because the technology is there, but it's about the business model around it and how we can use that will really lead to the impact. So we have to use the technology in the right way. For example, if you're reaching out to the rural people, underprivileged people, you can't complicate things. It has to be as simple as possible so that they can use it, right? So I think that's the challenge. Efficiency versus effectiveness is a challenge when you use technology. Yeah.
Thanks, Arun.
I think from my side, I think the biggest challenge that we see for the communities and the end beneficiaries that we're trying to reach is, they might have access to a smartphone, but do they have digital literacy? Do they have access to data, internet, Wi-Fi, and how do we overcome those barriers? I'll give an example. At the moment, we're actually working with UNHCR in Indonesia through IVR, so this interactive voice response, we're training people on digital literacy. So we're that step just before to actually help support people. And then within that, understanding from them, do they now have access to a phone? Do they have access to data? Okay, if they don't, then we have to think about how do we make sure that they do have access to this. And I think that this is really important moving forward. I know in Vietnam, access to smartphones and data is higher than in maybe some other countries in the Asia region, but it's something that, if we want to engage everyone within the community, especially the unconnected, the most vulnerable, it's something that, it's really important that we think about. Thanks, back to you, Ryan.
Thanks so much. So we're a little bit over time. I think we still have a few people left with us, and maybe they won't mind a few additional minutes, because the one question I really like to ask panelists is the same one that I asked Keith and Jan earlier. At the end of this webinar, what is the question you want attendees to be asking themselves and to ask the others around them? Yeah, please, who'd like to take that?
I'm going first. So I would say two parts to this as well. So within the communities that you serve, just to think about what is the level of digital literacy, access to smartphones and access to the internet. And with that in mind, once you kind of question that and the people you're trying to reach or the people you're engaging with on a daily basis, how are you going to actually tailor your solutions to accommodate for everyone within your reach and your end beneficiaries? So that's kind of what I would like people to think about when they're generating solutions.
Thanks, Emma.
From my side, basically, if you're a business, just think about how you can help the community around your business. Could be your suppliers or your potential customers, and how you can help them. And I think technology could be one of the way where you can use to help them more in an efficient way. And you might also want to think of sometimes your business can, create some developmental impact. Sometimes the business are not aware of it. And I think that's what we as an NGO go and try to work with business, find out how they can create an impact. At the same time, it can help in their business. The project case study I shared about is not just helping those people, but it also helps the business. Basically, they're able to find people, and it's a mutual win-win situation. There could be a lot of mutual win-win situation for business, where it can help your business at the same time create impact, and technology could be just an enabler if it is used. So I think as a business, we can all do developmental work also. Yeah. So you may want to consult or work with some NGOs, and they might help to brainstorm and explore. Yeah.
I think I'd like to add a few points to what Emma and Aru mentioned. I think as an entrepreneurs and who have a lot of great passion in what I'm trying to do, with nowadays technology, my thoughts is to everyone who want to change the world out there. Nothing is really impossible now. Nothing is impossible until it's done. Because with technology, with the advanced technology, with the evolving ecosystem everywhere in the world right now, I think this is one of the best time. This is one of the best time in the human history we can really make the dream come true. Because I'm making my dream come true, and everyone else coming true too. So I think with the evolving ecosystem, with the world is changing rapidly, become one now. It's kind of a borderless world. We definitely redefine the market, right? Well, nowadays, with our industry, and I'm sure the other industry, right? The world's become like there's no Vietnam market, there's no single market anymore. There must be only one market, which is the world market. If we can do that, if we solve a pain point, we solve the pain point for the entire market, which is the earth, one market. So if we can, with the internet revolution, with the evolving in terms of advanced technology, the entrepreneurs can make dream come true really quickly, really fast. Of course, we need to learn, continue to learn. It's still like, I'm still learning a lot, but with the aspiring entrepreneurship, with the guts in making things happen, this is the best time to make dream. Thank you.
Thanks, Ronald. Well, that brings us to the end of our time today. Thank you so much for everyone who joined us. I would like to encourage all of you, if you learned something, if you were moved by some of the inspirational things that were said today, please reach out to the speakers. They are such a wealth of information and such a resource available to you. And it could be that there's an opportunity for you to support them or for them to support you. And with the ultimate goal of just having a little bit more impact. So please check them out on LinkedIn or their websites or wherever. You're welcome to connect with me at the Canadian Chamber of Commerce, and I'm happy to connect you with them directly if that's the way it needs to be. But I hope you enjoyed the webinar, that you learned as much as I did, and that you'll stay tuned for our next event like this. So thanks again, everyone, for attending.